Hello everyone and welcome back to more Lucid9. We are back for more of this game. Oh my god, this game. So, in the last episode, shit hit the fan sort of. Shit sort of hit the fan. There's some wild shit happening here in this game now, sprinkled in between these really cute, fluffy, normal, regular high school sort of life moment. Anyway, so the last episode, we started off this game started off that episode, with Yama trying to look for his friends. He's like, I need to talk to my friends. I need to go find out some more information that will maybe help me with this whole student disappearing and finding out who's behind it. Anyways, regardless, we were on the rooftop trying to find them, but then we stumbled upon Elizabeth. Elizabeth's just chilling, reading her books, and just having a good old time. And so we decided to talk to her for a bit, and we had this little cute little intellectual banter where we sort of role played Mr. Darcy and Miss Bennet from Pride and Prejudice or some shit like that. Anyways, it was a really cute moment between us and Elizabeth because we in that moment we were starting to realize that Elizabeth isn't such a prude kind of person. We had some cute moments. Anyways, regardless, before anything really sort of happens in terms of us sort of, I guess, growing fond of Elizabeth and admitting that sort of feelings, we get a text message from Ruri. Ruri's like, get your ass over here into the courtyard. I need some help. So we go over there and we see Ruri and we were talking. We're like, what's up? What do you need? And she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go home for the time being. So I'm moving out of the dorms. So we're just like, oh, that's really sudden, I guess. And she just basically called us here to help move her luggage to the subway. So we go off to the subway with her luggage, and we were just wondering why is it that she didn't call Masato, and then she's just like, I don't know, he's sort of busy with stuff. And we're like, okay, I guess, but secretly she just wants to spend her as much time as she can with us. So we go over to the subway. We were there and we were just remarking how empty the subway is, despite it kind of being sort of almost pre-rush hour times. So we're like, okay, that's kind of weird. And we were sort of teasing Ruri about that. She's like, yeah, I totally get what you mean. It's I had to go home yesterday night and it was super creepy. I thought a zombie was going to come out. We were fooling around until we see a commotion. And lo and behold, we look over and we see these two students running from each other kind of thing, or running from something. At first we thought they were running from something, but then it turns out that it was Shoji who was running from Yahiko, and Shoji's just yelling all these really concerning things. He's telling Yahiko to get away from him, he's calling Yahiko a liar. Yahiko's trying to calm his shit and was like, no, you don't understand, this is a misunderstanding, you're freaking out, you're not in your right state of mind, Shoji, you need to chill. And Shoji's obviously like, no, I know what you did last summer or something like that. So he's freaking his shit. They're in the middle of kind of fighting each other, and they're slipping really close to the tracks, and the subway was coming, the train was coming. Ruri tried to help, but we held her back because we were like, you're gonna get hurt if you try to do something. But she's like, we gotta do something regardless. Anyways, we just looked on. We didn't do much of anything. We just looked on. They were yelling. Yahiko and Shoji were yelling at each other. We caught snippets of conversations and what they were yelling, but we didn't really hear clearly. And of course, Yahiko loses grip on Shoji, and Shoji falls into the tracks, and he gets run over by the train. Okay, that's and that causes us to laugh. So we got triggered and we started to laugh, and then we got a flashback where we finally see what happened to our big sister Mizu. So during that time in which we were taking that detour bus when they were younger, the bus veered off course because the road was super slippery and icy, and it veered into the river that we tried to save Shoji from, coincidentally enough. And in that process, Mizu protected us from a really bad hit with this metal pole where she got impaled by, and that's how she died. She died instantaneously. We were trapped in an air pocket, but we got rescued either way. So that's what ended up happening. We wake up from passing out. We're back in our apartment. Rui's taking care of us. We tried to ask her what happened. She said she didn't see because we did cover her eyes before, Shoji got pushed into Shoji just fell into the train tracks. She only told us that Yahiko got arrested and he's now being held at the police station. We're like, holy shit, this is fucking wild. And so yeah, so Rui is she's asking us about our labs. She's making sure we're okay. But then, of course, we ended up spilling the bean about how we nearly drowned yesterday and how this isn't the first time we saw Mizu from our trigger. Like, we've been triggered before and way earlier on. And so she started freaking out. She started yelling at us and saying how we don't tell her anything anymore and how, like, do you even trust me as a friend? And we started arguing. There was some low blows that were traded. We yelled at Ruri, telling her that she's like, she's a fake friend, basically. She just wants to hang out with us because it just makes her feel better because we're useless and we can't do anything, and that she's so nosy and she always keeps bringing up Mizu and his bad memories, and that's why it causes him to lapse and shit like that. And then of course Ruri was just saying, oh, I'm sorry that I was trying to care for you and I was trying to be your friend and I was worried about you and stuff because you never tell me these things, so sorry for being a good friend. And she just kind of left it. She like stormed out. We felt super bad, except we didn't chase after her. We ran. We decided to go on a running spree to run away our feelings. But then we ended up in District 6. Coincidentally enough, and in that moment of like being angsty, we get a ping drop of a location, coincidentally from Haru, that Haru Banya guy who was friends with Shoji, who's also friends with Yahiko. It says that his location drop was in District 6, and we're like weirded out because we're like, when did we even get his number? I don't understand how we were able to see this, but anyways, regardless, we went to go check it out, and then we see like flashes of like this body who's been like stabbed to death, and it's like, oh my god, Haru is dead. And then we see Yahiko, and then we were talking to Yahiko about we can't let anyone know this, blah blah blah. It's super hella shady, and we're like questioning whether or not we were actually the killer in if we turn into this double personality killer who's like whenever we lapse, and like, is Yahiko our accomplice now? Is he aware and is he trying to like help us out kind of thing? But either way, we wake up, the memory is sort of fading away. We don't even know if it's real or not. But anyways, regardless, we're freaking out. We're like, oh my god, what if the killer is me kind of thing? We started questioning ourselves and who the hell am I kind of thing, and like what's happened during our lapses. Like we've been told by the psychologist that our lapses don't affect us personality wise, but we're like really doubtful and really like dubious about it now. And same thing with the text messages of the Crimson Crusade person, and we're like, what if this is me, and what if this is like timed, like timed in like message sends or something like that. Anyways, regardless, we're questioning everything basically. So we go to school regardless because we're like, oh, no game. We go to school regardless because we are like, okay, if we ever lapse, maybe perhaps if we're around enough people, someone would catch us and someone would oust us, and then we'll know for sure. Regardless, either way, Haru is now missing. We tried to talk to Masato. Masato and us are still not on speaking terms. He's still really mad at us, but for whatever reason. But anyways, we tried to talk to Yahiko, which is the main player, and we're like, hey Yahiko, we tried to play it cool and be like, wow, what happened? And we were super surprised that he was released from, being questioned by the police so easily. And so yeah, we tried to like lay it kind of like, subtly, but then he like fully was like, oh, he slapped on a smile and pretended that nothing ever happened. Like the whole subway didn't happen, the whole like alleyway in District 6 didn't happen. We were super tripping out. We were tripping the fuck out. So afterwards we go to Mr. Ryota's office, and after witnessing like more bullying about and more gossiping about girls talking about Irie and like her curse and thing, and then from there we ask Mr. Ryota about whether or not the missing students all have any sort of connections or relations to Yahiko, and it turns out it is. He did a little search up, pulled up his Instagram, and he sees all this like the people who are missing, they were tagged in Yahiko's photos. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to get this explanation out. Sorry you have to see that. But like, anyways, yeah, we discovered that Yahiko was friends with the people who were missing, and we're like, this is super trippy. Like, Yahiko of all people, what sort of connection does Yahiko have? Like, who would have thought kind of thing? This is a little too weird. Anyways, regardless, we continued on our day, and then yeah, that's it. I think that's pretty much all the big, huge things that happened. So here we are. We were trying to get in touch with Yahiko throughout the entire day, I think, or trying to find out more information, but regardless, we couldn't find people to talk to. So yeah, everybody was like gone before the day, I guess, for club activities or whatever the hell. And yeah, here we are. So Misaki, surprisingly enough, is the only person who kind of shows up, kind of lingers around, by our desk. So let's see what she has to say. So I expect to spend the remainder of my time by myself, but instead I find Misaki waiting by my chair. Yes, hello, Misaki. Ah, Yama. Yes. Hi. Do you want to go somewhere with me? Why? What now? No, tomorrow. Of course. No, tomorrow. Of course, right now. Okay. Class is about to start. Are you seriously coming up with an excuse to stay in school? I know, right? She's right. Normally, I wouldn't mind. So you're saying we should ditch? Yes. I prefer the phrase investing our time in other endeavors. Endeavors. Good. Endeavors. So, ditching. You make it sound so ugly. As sudden as this might be, it might actually end up being kind of fun. Exactly. I think we should ditch class with Misaki. Let's ditch class with her. I'm down for it. I think we should do it. Maybe we might find something along the way. You never know. So let's ditch class. Why not? It's not like I'd be doing anything productive in school. So where were you thinking? She smiles brightly, gesturing to the door with both hands. You'll see. Okay. Are you gonna bring me back to your agency? Because I did that one thing. I obligingly exit the classroom right as the bell sounds. As we make our way down the street, newfound excitement takes the place of anxiety. It's definitely a welcome change, right? Exactly. I feel like that's another thing where it's like I feel like if he just stays in school, he's just gonna like worry himself from overthinking. Aw, we're here at GFC. Surprisingly, she leads me to GFC. After we order and pick up our chicken, we slip into the nearest booth. It's like a date. I found this place the other day. Their wings are really good. Well, yeah, I know. I come here a lot, actually. Yeah. Oh, really? Yeah. Well, not really. Well, not recently because of the investigation, the lapses, the serial killings, Ruri, Masato, Yahiko. Now that I think about it, when was the last time we all ate here together? Has it really been that long, or is my memory just that unreliable? Somehow Misaki manages to catch the change in my face. She quickly leans forward, her attention fixed on me. Oh, something's bothering you. Yeah, no shit. I'm assuming it has to do with your fight with Ruri. Yeah. Wait, how do you know about that? Oh, because she told me. Oh, yeah, because they're besties now. They got back together in terms of like being friends. Well, more like I forced it out of her. Okay. Her exasperation is quickly replaced with concern. So you're still having your lapses? Yes, I am. She told you about that, huh? She told you about that, huh? Well, and about Mizu, and that you almost drowned. Yeah. So, what are you going to lecture me about? So what? Are you going to lecture me about that too? My response comes out harsher than I intend. Instead of getting angry, Misaki only raises an eyebrow in bewilderment. You jumped into the river to save someone. Why would I lecture you? Because I didn't save him, Miki. Because I couldn't save myself. I just ended up being useless again. You're such a damn dumber. Oh, wow. She suddenly shouts something incomprehensible, slamming her fist on the countertop. Everyone in the restaurant immediately stops to look at us. Do you know what I hate about you most, Yama? The fact that you always bring yourself down. Yeah. Yes, you could have died, but you tried anyway, right? Right? You could have ignored him. You could have just let that boy drown, and no one would have thought less of you because of your condition. It's not always about succeeding. It's about having faith in yourself. Right. Gotta believe in yourself, man. Her fingers curl on the edge of the table, an odd heaviness to her tone. Even with your condition, you're a lot more capable than you think, Yama. So please, don't ever say that you're useless again. Aww. In response to her words, I can only remain in stunned silence. Is she actually commending me? Even though I had almost died, even though I hadn't accomplished anything? But to be completely honest, I almost feel a little touched. Right? Finally realizing that her outbursts had attracted the attention of nearby customers, Misaki's face blushes a bright red and she sinks back into her seat. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have yelled at you like that. No, it's okay. The pain in her voice is almost palpable, as if she had just slapped me across the face. Oh, it's fine. Well, you weren't the one who slapped me across the face. It was Rui. We should probably finish eating. Yeah. We redirect our attention back to our food. For the next few minutes, we eat in awkward silence. I'm about to say something to break the tension until I notice Misaki reaching for GFC's signature hot sauce. Miki. Yeah, but before I can warn her, she's already downing her wings like there's no tomorrow. Isn't that spicy? Huh? The ketchup? Oh no! That isn't ketchup, it's hot sauce. Oh, so it is. She merely shrugs her shoulders and continues eating, seemingly unaffected. You know, not even Masato could handle that. Masato must be a wimp then. Nice. Okay, so she's unfazed. Okay. She says this teasingly, eliciting a chuckle from me. I'm pretty sure she's probably the only person who can beat Masato in an eating contest. I kind of want to see that, actually. By the way, have you seen that pat I sent you? No, you sent me a pat. Have you even been using patter recently? No. To be honest, no. She sighs, motioning me to hand over my phone. I obligingly do so. Apparently, our Kimono commercial has generated a lot of buzz. Oh. I was reading some of the comments, and you seem to have quite a few fangirls. What? Yeah, fangirls, female fans, admirers. Why would I have admirers? Don't be so modest, Yama. I mean, you are attractive, right? I mean, I've seen myself. I remember you saying something similar to Yahiko the other day. Oh, don't worry. I think you're much cuter than he is. Oh, thank you. Oh. Why would she think I was worried? How can she say that so blatantly? How did we even get on this topic anyway? Well, you were starring in a commercial, that's why. So here, I'll read some of these comments to you. I'd rather not. Oh, he's so cute. I wonder if he has a girlfriend. I've never seen this actor before, but I like a lot. I likey. The acting was so good. Are they really a couple? This guy makes me question my sexual preference. I'm a dude, by the way. Have you ever? I think that should be enough. Feeling my face flush, I quickly lean over the table and snatch my phone out of her hands. She only grins at me in amusement. Don't tell me you're embarrassed. Of course not. Then why is your face red? I just don't have your tolerance for spicy food. She giggles at this, absorbing herself in her own phone. You should seriously consider becoming an actor, Yama. It's not like I did that well. You did well enough considering the circumstances. Yeah, I can't help but feel a tinge of pleasure at her praise. If I'm not an actor, then what? I'll probably just manage my parents' restaurant. She pauses, raising a questioning eyebrow at me. Here comes the managing your parents' restaurant isn't a real job remark. Oh, I didn't know you could cook. That's what she was surprised about? I'm decent, I guess. Can I be your first customer? Sure, yeah. You'll let me eat for free too, right? What? No way. Why not? Because you'll put me out of business. Put you out of business? I point to her empty plate. She seems to make the connection. Are you implying that I eat too much? I'm just saying that you'd have to pay the full price. Otherwise, I wouldn't profit, right? I gotta make money somehow. You definitely wouldn't be able to profit if your arms were broken. Well, that escalated quickly. I like to have all of my bones intact, thank you. Well, you shouldn't call a girl. A sudden shrill emanates from her cell phone, cutting her off mid-sentence. Hello? Hello? Oh yes, I'm so sorry, sir. I'll be there right away. Okay. She quickly cuts the call, clearing her food from the counter. What's the rush? I'm late for my meeting. Oh, you have a meeting? Yes, with my manager after school. Quick, finish your food so I can leave. She suddenly grabs a wing and tries to shove it in my mouth. What are you doing? Why don't you just go? I hear it's bad luck to leave a restaurant by yourself if you're with someone. Where did you hear that from? Yeah, I never heard that before. The internet, of course. What? I shouldn't be surprised at this point. Right, she seems to spend a lot of her time there. Come on. Okay. I'll just bring my food with me. Yeah, I'll just do a takeout. After fetching a food container from my wings, Misaki drags me out of GFC. Okay. Alrighty, we stride into the warm, spring-tinted air. Misaki turns to me, pasting on a smile. Thanks for ditching school with me, Yama. Yeah, no problem. Invite me again. Maybe we can do this again sometime. Yeah, sure. You're planning on becoming a delinquent now? I guess. I mean, eating at GCF, I miss enough class as it is. Alright, true. In that case, sure, I'd like that. Why not? Until then, later. Okay, with that, Misaki waves adamantly, hurrying off to work. It was nice, honestly. Spending time with her made me actually relax. I'm ready to head back to my apartment, but a sudden ping brings my attention to my phone. What now? What is this? It better not be like Shigure, or maybe it's Rui, or maybe it's Sada. Who else could it be? It's Akira. Oh, sup, General. Heard from a little bird in a turd that you were feeling a bit under the weather. Wanna swing by Drama Club? It's a party, figuratively speaking, of course. Drama Club? Now? Well, I guess technically I have nothing better to do. Go home or go to the drama club. Oh, I'm gonna go to the drama club. I feel like, girl, if you just stay home, you're gonna wall yourself in overthinking, and you're gonna, like, do something. I don't know. Go to drama club. It's not a bad idea. Some make-believe might be just what I need, especially with Akira, if that display on the rooftop is anything to go by. Yes. Let's go. What classroom? 2C. Be there or be a cupcake. Okay? Because, a square is just so yesterday. And cupcakes are delicious. I roll my eyes, but I'm smirking as I enter the classroom. Yes. You're funny, Akira. So yeah, this should make my day considerably less crappy. Okay, so we're gonna talk with Akira this time. So 2C is just as generic as 3B. In fact, the only difference with my classroom is that it's currently filled with a scattered group of students. Yeah, the number seems to be fewer than when I was last here. Good day, General. Akira pops from beneath the desk, face shining in a cheery grin. So glad you decided to join us. I ended up smiling back. Yeah, so what's going on today? Yeah. Just improv exercises, having some fun and all that jazz. Our impromptu performance the other day was about as successful as a Puritan party. So we're taking today to relax and gather our morale. Okay. So it didn't go well? I can say with 100% confidence that it was absolutely terrible. Oh, never mind. Okay, I didn't know what her reference was, so I was like, is it good or is it bad? And that's why the room is so empty. I see that nothing escapes your eye, Mr. Holmes. Yes, many of our own numbers have deserted us. We are left stranded in the desert, wretched, alone. Oh, whoa. Oh, despite the dramaticism of her voice, of her tone, I notice that she seems to be happier. You like that there's less people, don't you? Well, that sounds so unpleasant. Rather, a small and more intimate group provides for better screen time coverage in the case that our lives are made into a show. Show? What? What? Yeah. Think about it. Stories with large ensemble casts often purely focus on external conflict, while smaller casts allow room for individual character development and realizations. You are right. That's how a lot of TV shows work, you know. And that's why smaller casts are worse for you if you break a bone. Just when I thought I was beginning to understand her, something like this happens. Yeah, it seems to be like the case. I see. Of course you do. You have two functioning eyes. Before I can respond to this absurdly literal statement, the club president claps her hands, gathering the attention in the room. So, okay guys, I don't think anyone else is coming. Let's get started. Okay. So the group shuffles into a circle. The president's eyes land on me. Her eyes widen noticeably. Oh, Yama Ishimoto, great to have you here. Oh, you remember me? Why, of course, Akira won't stop talking about us, probably. Akira frantically makes some kind of vague gesture with her hands. The president coughs. Akira brought you here. Forward and Inspire, right? It wasn't that long ago. I noticed their unusual actions, but decide to ignore it. Right. Well, you're in luck. Today, I've got some great exercises planned. You guys ready? The group, though small, lets out a hearty roar. The president slides a hat toward the middle of the room. Inside it lies a tangled mess of paper. Okay, let's just do some warm-up improv. Akira, do you mind? It'd be a pleasure, Prez. Okay. So she eagerly shuffles forward and snatches a random slip. Her eyes drift over the words. My character is a lawyer. Okay, so good. Tatsuya, why don't you match her? Sure thing, Prez. He also extracts a slip and snorts in disbelief. A dragon with an attachment complex to his captive princess. Great, you guys know the drill. 3 minutes. Ready? Wow. Okay, so Akira straightens, adjusting her jacket. Her partner leaps on the desk and curls lethally as if he's actually a dragon. Go. So Akira strides forward, whipping her finger to her partner. Hold it, Mr. Dragon. Oh my god, it's suddenly Ace Attorney. Hold it! Mr. Dragon, are you not aware of the severe consequences associated with kidnapping? It's a serious felony offense. Your lightest sentence will be the equivalent of 20 human years or more if you do not cooperate at once. No, you can't take her from me. She's mine, my precious, my precious. Akira slaps her hand convincingly on the table. Your Honor, the defendant, we're not in a court of law, little lawyer. Go away before I fry you to a crisp. Take that. Take that. I thought that dragons were supposed to be creatures of honor. Must I challenge you to a duel? Yeah, her partner gives a long, dreary sigh, as if genuinely disturbed by Akira's incessant presence. Fine, you wanna know, little lawyer, why I refuse to forfeit my precious? Enlighten me. Simply this, little lawyer, you are playing by the code of humans. I am playing by the code of dragons. Shall I tell you what the code of dragons states? Okay, sure. So that a dragon can kidnap any poor innocent soul whenever they so please? No, in fact, little lawyer, it is prohibited for a dragon to withhold a precious maiden for more than 24 hours against her will, barring the major extenuating circumstance, which is if the place to which she must return is worse than in our possession. Oh, the room gasps slightly. Even Akira's confidence falters. What? My dear, precious little lawyer was cruelly abused in her own castle. It is safer for her here than anywhere else. Oh. My dear precious little lawyer. Yes, I missed that entirely. But anyways, regardless, yes, she was being abused at the castle. But that can't be. A brief silence falls on the group, punctuated by the shrill tone of an alarm. The club president hastily waves her phone as the room breaks into applause. Time's up! Great job, Akira, Tatsuya. That was really creative. Oh yes, I agree. So that plot twist was a brilliant comeback, Tatsuya. It was so fun to watch. Yeah, when Akira sits next to me, I lean closer to her. So, this is just an improv where anything goes? Actually, it's more like a battle of wits. As the improv continues, a scenario is created where each person clearly takes one side. While staying in character, they must figure out how to win the battle of wits before time is up. That doesn't seem very even. Oh no, I'm just no good at it. You see, I should have said that the princess was actually Spartan. Therefore, what the dragons perceive as abuse, society perceives as normal. Oh. That kind of improv concept is very interesting. I've never thought of something like that before. Right? That's actually really interesting. So, okay, next. Yama, wanna give it a try? Sure. I plucked a slip of paper from the hat. Ah, just my luck. A delinquent boy. I don't think I have to really try, huh? What'd you get, General? An honorable samurai? A terrific knight? Sorry to disappoint, but... Hi, guys. I'm so sorry for being late. Oh, who's this? Ruri! Suddenly the door flies open and Ruri comes rocketing into the room, dumping her backpack on the ground. My mind runs completely blank. Ruri, she's part of the drama club. Yes, she is. I don't know why. Yeah, I'd completely forgotten. Oh, perfect timing, Ruri. Why don't you play opposite of Yama? We're doing battle improv. Ruri's eyes land on mine, surprise etched clearly over her features. Guilt churns in my stomach as she shuffles away, her smile adopting a clearly awkward tint. I probably... Come on, the hat's waiting. Oh, I think I forgot something. She inches through the doorway. I wrap my fingers in my pockets, trying to stem the stifled air out of my lungs. Ruri halts in her steps, staring pleadingly at Akira. Why don't you be Yama's partner? Oh, horror spreads across Ruri's face. Fierce indignation rears in my stomach. I bite my tongue to keep my words back. Why, of all days for her to interfere, why today? Does she know what happened between Ruri and me? Is this her way of exchanging revenge since she got in a fight with Ruri? I have to go, Akira. What? Ruri? Ah, there she goes. Damn it. Ruri quickly scoops up her backpack and bolts from the room. Akira's face falls. Well, it was worth a shot. What's gotten her so antsy? An uncomfortable silence descends upon the room. It's more than I can bear. I hurriedly grab my backpack, my mind still clouded with anger. Sorry, I have to go too. Thanks for the performance, though. Wait, you too? Already? Yeah, General, why... Goodbye, Akira. Yes, I got to sort this shit out, man. I'm barely able to keep the snap out of my voice as I rush out of the classroom. Okay, I stop only when I break into fresh air. My thoughts, now broken from their mold, are racing uncontrollably in my head. Ruri, train, Shoji's death, seeing Ruri yelling at Ruri, hurting Ruri. I even forgot that she was in the drama club. General, hold up. Oh, Akira sprints to me, face wrought with worry. Why'd you leave all of a sudden? I clench my jaw, working to keep my words civil. Akira, I need you to be honest with me. Okay. Did you also ask Ruri to come to drama club today? Oh, she usually comes. But I wanted to make sure. That answer's enough. Oh, why did you want to make sure? Because you wanted us to meet? Well, yes. Akira, please. I told you this before, but you need to stop meddling. Look, Ruri and I fought yesterday. What just happened in that classroom? Well, I think you might have made the scenario a whole lot worse. General, I know that you and Ruri fought. Yeah, I figured. Oh, what? My anger blossoms in my stomach. Then why did you plan this? Did you intentionally try to make us miserable? Is this because you and Ruri are on bad terms? No, Ruri and I made up a long time ago. Oh, wow. Well, actually, it was just yesterday. But still, this appeases me slightly. I tried to withhold my accusations. Then why? You need to make up with Ruri, General. I agree with that. I wasn't there, so I don't know who was wrong or who was right, but it's always best to apologize first. The words are unusually straight and simple, especially coming from her. Still, I don't appreciate how she's meddling yet again. Here's the thing, I don't even know if we will make up. We might just not talk to each other again, move on with our lives. That's exactly what can't happen, General. Don't you see? You move on, you leave loose ends, and you end up with regrets that fester inside you like mozzarella cheese in an Indian summer. Even if it's painful, you need to make up, right? Because by the time you're ready, it's too late. She has a point. She sinks into the bench. For the first time, I realize that her chipper demeanor belies an exhausted face. Too late. She spends a moment in pensive silence before she speaks. I can sense the story behind her heavy words. General, you know Shoji, the unfortunate soul who recently died? Yeah, I do. More than I wish I did. He was in my class. I take a moment to swallow this fact. Shoji had to be part of a class, of course. I just hadn't thought of such an association. I saw him, General. I knew Akane, I knew their relationship, I knew that she disappeared and he was taking it hard. I saw all the signs, every single one. He'd joke about suicide. He wouldn't talk with anyone except his closest friend, Haru, but Haru was in a different class. He wouldn't eat, wouldn't sleep. He even was giving his stuff away, and he was saying goodbye to everyone. It's morbidly fascinating. Even while I can sense the heavy sense of guilt in Akira's words, I find the back of my mind cataloging that Shoji was planning to die. That incident at the train was suicide? I quickly catch myself. Now's not the time to think about this. I need to understand Akira. The weight associated with her guilt, it's not something that that she should bear in the first place. He was a textbook example of a suicidal thinker, General, and I just ignored him. Too awkward to talk to him, too weird to approach him normally. I did nothing. Rui talked with him. She did what I should have. She did? When did she... No, I shouldn't be surprised. That's something Rui would do. Rui with her big soft heart. The heart that I brutally crushed. Yeah. Akira, that just shows that his death isn't your fault. If Shoji died regardless of what she said... No, General, I could have done something. If I had just talked to him, if I had just smiled once, just waved once, just let him know that he mattered. He died, General, he died, and it was too late. I'd always thought that Akira's bubbly exterior would allow all the troubles of the world to bounce right off her skin, but she's taking Shoji's death harder than anyone I've seen. The pain in her voice is nearly palpable. General, that's what can't happen with Rui. Life is just too short. You don't know what the next day will bring. You could get run over by a car, or Rui could get run over by a car, or a nuclear bomb will hit Isamu and wipe out the entire population. It might sound stupid, but you have to make up now before you have any regrets. She laces her fingers together and stares at them. So please, talk with Rui, General. Don't let the skirmish turn into a 7-year war. It's clear and open and everything, not Akira, but everything Akira. All at once, I should know I should be empathizing with her pain, but all I can think is that I'm impressed. There's much more to her, a deep heart that I never knew was there. I'll try to make up. I try to smile reassuringly. She returns it, her shoulders relaxing. Well, if you need some aid, you can always call for backup. I have a particularly dangerous concoction known as the matchmaking plan. Wow, she just went from being super deep to like, okay, wow, damn girl, like she just laid it thick on us. All it requires is a nearby movie theater, a bouquet of roses. This isn't for a date. Well, who's to say that it can't be? I snort at this, but it comes out a little more affectionate than I was expecting. Let's stick with a simple apology. Well, General, even if you want to be boring, I do want to give you any help I can offer. Aw, thanks for the thought, but it's something I should do myself. It's between me and Rui, so I'll take responsibility for it, not you. Akira freezes at the statement. Did I hurt her feelings? I appreciate the offer, though. She only averts her gaze and shuffles away. It concerns me. Akira? Huh? What's wrong? Nothing. I just, I was touched. That's really cool of you, General. It's very admirable. Admirable that I take responsibility for my own crap? Well, I don't know. Well, is it time for me to get going? It must be. They'll all be wondering where I am. See you, General. Thanks for stopping by. Well, and please, make up with Rui soon. Bye. Okay. And just as suddenly as she appeared, Akira bolts away. Her words are strange, her analogies are unthinkable, and half the time I'm not sure if we're speaking the same language, but today I felt closer with her than most of my longtime friends. Wow. Amazingly enough, I think that we're actually starting to reach some semblance of understanding. That's good. I mean, yeah, like she gets, she understands. She totally gets it, and she has very valid points. I head back to my apartment, pondering the encounter in my mind. Yeah, you should totally make up with Rui. You feel regret, and that's enough. Okay. It's still light out by the time I return. The day stretches ahead of me, full of possibilities that don't actually exist. I could study if there was any point in doing so. I could hang out with my friends if I hadn't already screwed them over somehow. I should just talk to them honestly and apologize. At the very least, hear their side of the story. Try to understand what exactly is going on in their minds. Exactly. So, and yet I don't. Why not? Even I'm not completely sure why. The only clue lies in this nagging thought in the back of my mind. Maybe it's better that they don't know you. Maybe it's better if they didn't have to blow off classes in order to find vague clues for an even vaguer case. Maybe it's better if they weren't forced to deal with some depressed kid who never got over his sister's death. Hey now, maybe their lives would be easier. Hey, you're spiraling. You are spiraling, Yama Ishimoto. You need to get yourself out of there. You need to stop thinking that way. If that's the case, the only thing I can do for anyone really is to solve this case. Solve this case and stay out of the way. The key lies in my laps. Everything could change depending on what I saw last night. You're a coward. We'll see about that. I need to know why that exchange took place and what it meant. I break out of my train of thought, pondering my next course of action. If the doctors can be trusted, all I need is a stronger trigger. Is a stronger trigger, something that can give my brain a nice kick. Like a bloodied corpse. Dude, right, easy. I raise my phone, hands shaking. Nausea turns in my stomach as I bring up my browser's search engine, switching the mode to images. Are you seriously gonna do this? I can do this. Are you sure? For Rui, for Masato, Yahiko, Mr. Ryota, Shigure, for the people who've died. For Mizu. I tap the screen with finality. A gruesome scenery floods my pupils, pulsing into my brain like black oil. It wraps around me, strangling my breath out of my lungs, laughing softly in my ears. Too late. I struggle against it, but the empty eyes, the wash of organs and veins, it sends my head reeling. I vaguely feel myself turn over, retching. A lapse pushes at me, but I push back, reaching into the furthest depths of my mind. Remember. Oh my god, are we doing it? Oh my god, you can do it. You can do it. A clear, high voice pierces through the haziness of my mind. What? I know you can do it. Oh, is it Mizu? I'm dumped into the yard of some primary school where there's grass and trees and no towering monoliths of skyscrapers. It's most definitely a suburb. I'm sitting on a swing, and a tiny girl with legs that don't even reach the ground is on the swing next to me. She's a brave one. With every extension of her legs, she pushes higher and higher until she's almost horizontal with the bars. Then I realize that I'm also tiny with my own legs, and my own legs don't reach the ground. Ah, this day, I remember it well. I remember it to the point of painstaking detail. I remember how the sun fell to my face, how the flowers sang in the wind, how the delighted shrieks of children were a soundtrack that played endlessly in the background. I remember despising it all, because no one should have been happy. Not when I had to move, not when adults kept saying things I didn't understand, not when Mizu was gone. So, when they come, just tell him, okay? The girl's cheery voice broke me out of my thoughts. I was barely swaying back and forth on the swing, a comical juxtaposition to her vivid enthusiasm. Okay. It was not okay. I was not okay, and I would not just tell him, but as a child, I had very quickly learned that saying okay was the easiest thing to do. Saying okay made people happy. Saying okay made people leave you alone. But this girl was an exception. As she swung down, she suddenly ground her heels into the bark mulch beneath her feet. Wood chips sprayed at me. I promptly leapt to my feet, yelping in indignation. Hey! The girl jumped from her swing, landing in front of me. When she stood up, her hair seemed to glow like fire in the sunlight. Promise? I flicked bits of bark off of my elementary school uniform, nodding dully. Okay. Pinky promise. She stuck out her hand. I shoved mine in my pockets. Okay. You aren't pinky promising. Cross my heart. Hope to die? I didn't speak because I suddenly felt funny. The girl's eyes widened. Oh, maybe you shouldn't hope to die. Your sister is already dead. She said this solemnly, and as a 7-year-old, I had absolutely no concept of political correctness, so I only shrugged. Yeah. It's okay. There's lots of trampolines in heaven. Trampolines and flowers. Okay. And the girl, through with saying her piece, leapt back onto the swing and continued her crazy quest to the top. I only made shapes in the bark mulch with the tip of my shoe. Suddenly the girl hunched her knees to her chest and pointed frantically in the distance. Hey, they're coming, hey! I shrank against the swing. I didn't need to look where she was pointing. I already knew what lay in that direction. Come on, Yama, get up. No. You promised. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. You just promised. No, Hey, you poop head. Oh, I stiffened and glanced meekly at the newcomers. 4 older children, bigger in every dimension, with glittering eyes and smiles that were far too cheery for this time of day. Or any time of day, for that matter. You're a stupid poopy head. You're a stupid poop head. Oh my god. Yeah, why don't you play like us? He doesn't even talk with anyone. Just stares at us with those freaky freak eyes. Like his freaky freak name. Yama, what a stupid poop head name. He's a mountain. The crazy girl slammed her shoes into the ground again, spraying mulch at them. They didn't even flinch, instead they grinned widely. Oh, he's good. Oh, he's with a girl. Having fun with your little girlfriend, freaky freak? Man, kids are assholes. Ooh. Oh my god. I only hunched my shoulders and took the abuse. The girl, on the other hand, curled her fingers into fists, crouching aggressively. He's not my boyfriend. We don't kiss yet. Yama and Ruri sitting in a tree. Yeah, I figured it was Ruri. Kissing. I bet he got cooties from her. I don't have cooties. Ew, don't get too close, guys. You might get some. Run away! As the girl Ruri lunged for them, the 4 split and ran circles around her, laughing raucously. Hey guys, I came up with a song. Yama needs his mama. Freaky freak just like a llama. Yeah, what's a llama? Doesn't matter, Yama. Doesn't matter. Yama needs his mama. Freaky freak just like a llama. Needs a girl to fight. Cause he has no might. Y'all are fucking assholes. Little assholes here. They slapped their hands together, laughing cruelly as I fought to keep the sting out of my eyes and my throat. Okay. I said this placidly, saying okay would make them happy, saying okay would make them leave me alone. But just as they were about to lose interest, Ruri socked one of them straight in the face with her fist, rage twisting her cherubic features. Her target collapsed to the ground, sniveling, but the rest only laughed. You hit like a girl. Is that the best you can do? Freaky freak and his freaky girlfriend. I'm not his girlfriend. What on earth is going on here? Our teacher jogged over to the scene, followed by a crowd of twittering students. Uru's eyes lit up, thinking that help was coming. I only continued to stare at my shoes. I knew what would happen. Teacher, these 4 bullies are... Teacher, Yama hit me. Oh my god, look at him, teacher. I think he's going to die. Yama's not being nice. You said we should be nice, right? At the flip of the switch, the bullies had transformed into a pile of sniveling, clueless victims to the odious freaky freak. The teacher examined the scene before her, pursing her lips. The crowd awaited her judgment. Even at 7 years old, I already knew what it would be. Yama, I understand all the bad feelings you must be dealing with, but you can't hit people, okay? Infuriated, Ruri jumped in front of me, yelling at the top of her lungs. They're lying, teacher. I hit him. The teacher smiled tenderly at her. Ruri, I know that you are very nice and you want to protect Yama, but he needs to take responsibility for his own mistakes. Yama, come with me. We need to see the principal. Okay. I silently got to my feet and passed through the crowd to her side, still staring at my shoes. I could hear the bullies snickering in the background. But Ruri grabbed my sleeve, whispering softly but intensely. You know what? I'm gonna ask Mommy and Daddy. I'm gonna ask them how to get back at those poop heads. They'll be sorry, just you wait. She released me. The teacher led me away, a proper criminal, to the execution block. Okay! I tried to forget the encounter, to strangle the hope that was rapidly rising in me. Sooner or later she would get tired of me, sooner or later she would decide to leave, sooner or later she would just be another face in the crowd calling me freaky freak. She never did. She moved cities and started attending the academy. I followed her out, all the while expecting that one day she'd realize that she didn't have to be with a freak, and she could have any friend she wanted. And on that day I would have moved to Isamu for nothing. But that day never came. Aww. I awake blearily to a hammering, dull sound, almost like someone pounding at my door. Open up, Yama Ishimoto. I know you're in there. Oh, is it Ruri? Come and get the door, you bloody prat. Oh, that sounds like Elizabeth, maybe. I allow myself a moment to take in my surroundings. Looks like it's already nighttime. How long have I been out? Don't make me break this down. Every attack on the door drives further into my headache, making me wince. What is Elizabeth doing at my apartment at this hour? Just quiet down for a second, okay? The pounding stops, finally. Okay, oh my god. Turning on the lamp, I glance around. At some point, I throw my jacket on the ground. Thankfully, there's no vomit or other body discharge to be seen or smelled. Did I fall unconscious? Did nothing else happen? I don't know. I'm waiting. 5 minutes, Your Majesty. Okay, I struggle to my feet and head to the door. A sudden dizzy spell knocks me over. I barely catch myself on the kitchen counter in time, but as a result, my hand slips on a cup, sending it crashing to the ground. I wince as the harsh sound scrapes against my eardrums. Porcelain rockets to every corner of the room, skittering across the tile. Good God, what's going on in there? Dots spin in front of me. Dots spin in front of my vision as I struggle to the doorway. Something cuts into my foot. I roughly shake it out. Aw, man. Finally, I manage to open the door. Elizabeth's dour glare promptly melts into shock. Yama? Happy? Yeah. I stood to pick up the porcelain, but my foot twinges it with pain. Wincing, I crouch to the ground and examine my heel. Why are you bleeding? I point wordlessly to the shards of the cup. Elizabeth sighs, gingerly plucking them from the corners and dumping them into the trash. Yeah. You seem to be getting into these scrapes quite often. Hey, it's not every day I break a cup. She ponders this silently. It's only then when I actually clock the time. What are you even doing here? No, actually, how did you know where I live? She flicks the last of the shards into the trash can, then turns to me, hands on her hips. Is that really what matters right now? Look, first we need to take care of your foot. Where's your first aid kit? Tell her and make her leave. Well, we're gonna tell her. She's just trying to help. Girl, my dude, you need to rely on your friends. You need to not push people away. Tell her. I wordlessly point to the medicinal cabinet in the kitchen. Bottom shelf next to the stove. So she crisply strides to the cabinet, pulling a pipe of antibacterial ointment and a gauze wrap. Foot. I can bandage it myself. I can do it better. Are you seriously turning this into a competition? That wasn't what I... Just stick out your leg. I don't have the will to argue with her. I silently extend my foot. She wets a towel and dabs it against my heel. You're lucky that this is a shallow cut. There is not even any glass in it. Sure. She expertly slicks the ointment, then binds the injury with the wrap, as if she's done so 1,000 times. The fluidity of her motions are almost hypnotizing. As she finishes, she suddenly speaks, her voice unusually soft. Why were you at the train station yesterday? I freeze at her words, withdrawing my foot and taking a step back. Train station? Did she see me with Ruri? Is this about Shoji's death? I decide to stick with a cautious answer. Ruri was planning on commuting from home, so she had to take her stuff to the train station. That's not what I meant, Yama, and you know it. Why were you at the scene where an academy student died? My mouth runs dry. I work to speak past the ache in my throat. What? Shoji Hasegawa. He died at that train station, and you were there. Yeah, how did you know? Yeah, how do you know that? Will you just tell me? Why were you at that exact why were you there at that exact moment? The pressure from her words bears down on me heavily. I make my way over to the couch and take a seat. Were you there too? Yama, just answer. How did you know? Yeah, right? Why are you always so insufferable? I might not be your best friend, but don't you trust me? Just one whit? My exhaustion, my nausea, my dizziness, it culminates into a lump of long-ridden resentment. Insufferable? I'm the one who was insufferable? I was just a normal student in a normal class. I didn't cause trouble. I didn't bother anyone. Who bothered whom first? Who insulted whom first? Ah, man. Who was the person who pretended to be my friend? I wasn't pretending. I was trying to help you. Oh yeah, you were an angel, nagging and criticizing and micromanaging me. You should have just done my homework for me. Let me ask you, did I ever ask for your help? Did I ever ask for you to tell me that I was trash at everything? Look, I'll admit that I made some mistakes, but I was trying to help you. Well, I thought so too, until that project. Don't tell me that I'm insufferable. You're the one who started it. Elizabeth bristles visibly and grabs my shoulders. Her breath is hot against my face. A current of lavender and vanilla brushes against my cheek. What did you expect? Did you think I would baby you around? You dumped that project. You left me to do everything. You don't know how many all-nighters I had to pull just to get that bloody poster done in time. That poster isn't even what? Worth anything? It's worth a grade, Yama, and grades are money. More than that, it was the City Link project that was worth 50% of our grade. I blink in surprise at this fact. Honestly, I never checked the syllabus. The fact that one project would be worth so much is alien to me, right? Damn. Elizabeth quiets and releases my shoulders, sitting down on the opposite end of the couch and folding her hands in her lap. Dang, Elizabeth, I am so sorry, my girl. I am so sorry. To you, coming to this school is just pocket change. Not exactly. My parents aren't billionaires or anything. Maybe, but you can slack and you'll come back another semester. You can scrape by at the bare minimum and stay assured that you'll remain a student. But I need to work for it so that I'm not a burden on my father. He's already so busy with work, the house, and with me, education is just out of the question. She seems to shrink inwardly, looking oddly defeated. I try to work past my shock and phrase my next question delicately. Your mom, doesn't send help? She's dead. Oh. Yeah, makes it a bit difficult. Just a little. She recovers and stares me in the eye. You already know that I'm a part-timer at the cafe, even while I keep up the illusion of being rich to others. But the absolute best thing I can contribute is maintaining an academic scholarship at the academy. My cynical side can't help but laugh. Scholarship? Who would work so hard to come to a school like the academy? But at the same time, if I'm fair, I know that it's one of the best high schools around. Shows you just how much quality of education has deteriorated since the Depression. To you, Yama, it may seem like I only cared about my grade. And yes, I was controlling and I wanted to control every aspect of the project. But it wasn't just for a nice letter on a card, it was to keep my scholarship. If I had let things fly, I would have lost it. What? With you dropping the other end, and then the most I could have gotten in that course was 50 points. If that's worth half my grade, well, there goes the scholarship. Oh wow. I absorbed this quietly. Truthfully, I don't even know how to respond. I didn't know, right? I'm aware of that now. My grades are my livelihood, so is how I uphold myself about my peers, my extracurricular activities, my everything really. A full scholarship to a school like this is nothing to sneeze at. But you're basically a slave to the school. Well, I won't deny it felt that way a lot, but it doesn't matter as long as I can win it back. Oh, she trails off, her eyes drifting to the distance. I nudge her. Win what? Oh, nothing. Yeah, that sure looks like nothing. Well, it's not important at the moment. What I want to know is why were you such an insufferable arse on that project? Loath as I am to admit it, you weren't completely awful until it started. Her subtle insults almost seemed to hold a teasing edge. It prompts me to reply honestly. Well, your nagging was irritating and your opinions were bad. But honestly, I didn't care that much until this one day where you mentioned my sister. Sister? She seems genuinely aghast at this nugget of information. You don't remember? I didn't even know you had a sister. Oh, interesting. At the time, I thought it was a deep insult. Oh, and your sister thought so too? No, well, she's dead. Oh, yeah, bit hard. Just a bit. I'm sorry then. I didn't know. Was that why you dropped the project? Something like that. Well, it makes sense. A moment of silence falls between us as we work to process these revelations. Honestly, it feels pretty alien to share a civil conversation with Elizabeth. Up until a week ago, we'd been at each other's throats on a nearly daily basis. Right. This really is like Pride and Prejudice, isn't it? Yeah, it really is. What? Well, I've gone so long misunderstanding you. Well, so have I. I guess both of us are Mr. Darcy. Yes. and Elizabeth Bennet. Yeah, I suppose everyone is, to some extent. You more than most, Miss Half-English woman whose name is Elizabeth. And you as well, Mr. Takes His Wealth for Granted. Before I can respond to this, she clears her throat. But this is getting off topic, right? Seriously, Yama, I need to know why you were at that train station. My guard instantly rises. Even though Elizabeth doesn't seem to have any bad intentions, just a mention of the trauma puts me on alert. Why do you need to know? Yeah, why can't you just tell me that? Elizabeth rockets to her feet, her voice low as she glares down at me. Why? Because depending on your answer, you could be the primary suspect in the recent disappearances. A primary suspect? But how would she know? Why would I was just... Do I need to spell it out? Katsu Kobayashi. He's a policeman, the one who found you in the forest a few days back, right around the time they found a body a body in that same forest, right. A mutilated body of a student that matched the pattern of disappearances. Well, Katsu's in charge of Shoji Hasegawa's case at the train station, and what does he hear from his primary witness? That you were there. Of all bloody incompetent people, you somehow possess the intelligence and initiative to flawlessly kidnap and murder 4 to 6 people. Well, I can't tell whether she's insulting me or fighting for my innocence. Not that it matters when she knows so much. How do you... She throws her hands up in the air. Fine, my father is the bloody superintendent of the bloody Isamu police department, and Katsu is a family friend. Oh, now will you tell me? Oh, wow, that explains a lot, actually. I'm stricken speechless by this barrage of revelations. Elizabeth is the daughter of the police superintendent? Yes, come to think of it. Yeah, she was talking to that police officer that was at the fair. Oh my god, it connects. Holy shit. Maybe she has superior knowledge of dressing wounds because her dad is the police superintendent. Pieces start falling into place. Elizabeth's atypical outlook on the killings, her systematic behavior during the school investigations, how she knew how to handle a gun, even just in laser tag. Something makes sense about her. If you're wondering, no, my father doesn't blab about confidential information. I learned as part of an investigative process that involved Katsu interviewing me. What? I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah. Then why are you wasting time? Yeah, just tell me what you were doing at the station. Napping? I told you, I was just helping Ruri move. Those are the words I want to say, but can't. What was I doing? At the train station, I might have just fainted, but when I'm sleeping, when I'm lapsing, I have no clue what I'm doing. Elizabeth's frown flattens into neutral curiosity. Yama? I don't know. It's impossible to tell what's going on. Everything happened so quickly. The deaths, being drafted as an assistant, then being fired, more deaths, fights all over in the space of what, 9 days since school started? You're just being ridiculous. You either did something or you didn't. Look, just say that you couldn't have had anything to do with Shoji's death. What if I did? Then say that you did. Is it really that hard? Well, hard to admit that you could be a serial killer without even knowing? Yeah, I'd say that's pretty hard. Then again, she just thinks that I'm joking. And what if I don't know? Her expression quiets as she seems to understand. You're not seriously entertaining this idea, are you? For God's sake, Yama, you a murderer? That's a load of rubbish. You can't know that for sure. Oh yes, I can. Look, it's bloody impossible. Clearly, you're not the actual killer, or you wouldn't be acting this way. Therefore, there's no reason that you would have anything to do with these killings. Stars above, for a rational person, you sure do awful little thinking. Ironically enough, the bite in her tone is comforting. She sounds confident, like I could never be guilty, like I would never be able to hurt someone. But she doesn't know about my lapses. She doesn't know that I could potentially be a completely different person. Look, you're many things, Yama, but a murderer is not one of them. Are you sure? You've gotta believe that. If you don't, no one will. Heh, what if no one already does? Then you've gotta show them. Show them who you are. Show them what you can do. They'll doubt you, they'll fight you. Maybe your friends will leave you, but you've gotta fight back. I have no doubt that to any other person, her speech would be amazingly inspirational. To any other person, life changes would be made and world views would be altered. But fighting back, involving people, doing something, that's what I have been doing for this past week. Uncovering, investigating, taking initiative. And well, we saw how that turned out. Still, I have to admit that she stirs hope, even in someone like me. Her words make me want to leap up, to raise my fist, to fight back. I just don't know if it'll make things better or worse. Thanks, Elizabeth. She falters, her eyes widening. What? What? Yeah, what? That's the first time you didn't call me Lizzie. Would you prefer that? Not particularly, it simply feels odd. Her eyes drift across mine, slowly, contemplatively. Yeah. Well, done with your pity party? As close as as close as I can get to done, I suppose, Miss Bennet. Fair enough, Mr. Darcy. After all, I know how you enjoy your parties. Ah, yes, you can tell by my acute desire to eat, drink, and dance the night away. Why the night is scarcely young. Okay, wait, it's midnight? Yes, it is. She leaps away, pointing to my clock in clear horror. Oh, looks like it. Good God, I have to get going now. She hurriedly shoves the medicine back into the cabinet and scrambles to the doorway. I instinctively grab her sleeve. Wait, what's the... Oh, let go now. She doesn't look like she's going, so I quickly release her. Something dawns on me. Oh, academy curfew? Yeah. What? No, I have a permit because of my father's job. Does this curfew even exist, or does everyone just ignore it? That's true. It seems like everyone that we know is just like, curfew, what? Whatever. Then what is it? Homework? Sleep schedule? No, nothing like that. Shouldn't it be obvious? A girl in a boy's home at a late hour? What? What? Just that? Yeah. It's nothing to worry about. I've had plenty of girls over. Ruri was one of them. Heck, she even knows the key code to my door. But Elizabeth doesn't seem to take this as comforting. In fact, she turns white as a sheet. But plenty of girls? No, it's fine. People don't care around here. I care. Do you know what this could do to my reputation? She paces agitatedly, wringing her hands. Her worry is stressing me. Look, like I said, it's not a big deal. Guys have girls over all the time, and girls have guys over all the time. She stops in her tracks and stares at me. Oh, as friends, yes. Well, what else would they be doing? Well, you're asking because you don't know. That is generally why people ask questions, yes. And, according to you, girls come over and guys come over and they just study or play games or eat dinner or whatnot. That's exactly... Wait, what were you thinking? My God, I can't believe we're having this conversation. She covers her face and rearranges her jacket, quickly opening the door. I'm just going to go now. I'm left flabbergasted as she slams the door in my face. I can't even get it in a word. Well, that was abrupt. I swear I'll never know what's going on in her head, in that head of hers. Yeah, what? What did you forget? It probably doesn't mean anything to you, Yama. But I believe in you. Okay. But before I can make a move, she promptly shuts the door again. This time, I hear the rapid clink of her shoes against the apartment hallway as she strides out of the complex. She believes in me. Of all people, Elizabeth Oshiro believes in me? Well, that's just the irony of life, I suppose, and I can't deny that it's reassuring in the most bizarre way. She's most confident that I am in my own innocence. It feels nice to have someone like that on your side. A fighter, a warrior, someone who you know will tell the truth to your face even if you don't want them to. And I can trust her, weirdly enough. Okay. So the boost to my mood gets me into an investigating mood, but I managed to stave it off. Okay, so for now I need to go to bed and get some rest. If I'm going to tackle this crime, I need to do it on an alert mind and a lot of sleep. Okay, there we go. Oh man, I'm tossed awake by the rattle of a jackhammer just outside my window. What? A jackhammer? Excuse me, people keep interrupting my sleep this night. Jesus Christ. Okay, anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave this episode here. I think we've got a lot done. Found out a lot of things again. This episode has been more of like just getting more information out of people, out of all our friends, and like realizing that, there was a lot of miscommunication and like, misconceptions that we had of our quote-unquote friends or people that we know, like Akira or Elizabeth, for example. Anyways, you guys, there we go. So Yama is decidedly throwing himself into the deep end in terms of with this investigation. We still have no idea what's happening in terms of like, if he really is like the killer, or if Yahiko is the killer, or if Yahiko is the accomplice, or if like any of his theories have not been proven just yet. He's trying to trigger it by himself, but we're still left in the dark and he's still left in the dark. So anyways, regardless, that is where we're left off. We're gonna find out more, of course, with the coming episodes in the future. But for now, thank you guys for joining in this Let's Play. So tune in next time, and bye!